Hi again, Ms. Landrum and Ms. Torres. What a great idea to have candidates submit a video of them teaching. I'm excited about that. My year at STEM Academy, I was a part of Valor, and part of that is videotaping and getting feedback from colleagues on how the lesson's going. And so really should do this more often. Okay, so I'm excited about doing the lesson. What I'm not excited about is I don't actually have a small group with kiddos here to give you feedbacks, but hopefully you can get an idea of what I would do. So I'm going to teach a mathematics intervention lesson that it would be applicable to fourth grade, and it introduces division at a very concrete level before we get into the more abstract ideas, such as using numbers and formulas and so on. So, all right, so here we go. Hello, friends. I bet you can tell that I'm a little bit more excited than normal to be meeting today. We've been asked to use our session to help out our homeroom parent, and she's preparing for your upcoming class party. And when I saw her in the workroom, she had this big pile of candy in front of her, but she was frowning. And I kind of asked her why, and she said she had to go leave to pick up her daughter, but she wasn't done with the last 3 bags. And I said, that's okay. Let me take it off your hands. I've got some great problem solvers, and we can bag up the candy for you. And not to worry, that it was under control. So she was so pleased that she invited us to add any candy that's left over to our classroom jar. So cool, right? What she hopes for is that each one of these 3 bags will have 100 candies, at least 100 candies in them. So we'll want to check for that. And we've got this pile. So we need to come up with a way to work this out. I know you guys can help me. So knowing Miss Smith wants equal candy bags, tell me what we already know about making equal groups. Okay, so what did you notice about Miss Smith's pile of candy? Okay, yes, it smells great. Some are already in groups. There are small and large and individual pieces. Those are all great observations. Yes, they're colorful. So which of those observations that you all just gave me would help us begin our task? Okay, well, I agree. Knowing how many are in a larger and how many are in a smaller is certainly going to help us. So show me what you would do to find out. Okay, so I'm so pleased, especially that you guys worked together, sorting the candy by the packaging size. What did you notice? Okay, so you found the large bundles contain 100 candies. And how did you know this? Okay, I see. So there are 10 packages in a bundle, and inside each package is 10 candies. So 10 groups of 10 make 100. Okay, you've convinced me. Now, how many did you guys decide were in the small? You counted individual because you already knew from the larger they were 10. Okay, great. And then we have 4 loose candies. Okay, great. So can you guys work together and tell me how many that is in all? Okay, great. So you all agreed there are 434 candies in all. And I noticed that you guys, the way that you counted that, I noticed what you were doing is that you started counting with the bundles that are large in hundreds. That made the job easier, didn't it? And then you moved on to the bundles that were in tens, and then finally you counted up the individual pieces. So that worked out really well. I like that process that you guys worked out. Tell me why that made sense for you to do. Okay, I totally agree. We do think of numbers in groups of 10s, and that does make the job so much easier. So, okay, now that we have a total, tell me how many you think will fit in each bag. We have 3 bags. Okay, so some of you think about 100, and some of us think maybe more like 150 is what I'm hearing. So it will be interesting to see what happens. It's always good to kind of have an idea. So now you guys talk together and then show me what would you do to divide up our total. Okay, cool. I noticed you all agreed to begin with the hundreds. All right, so it looks as if each prize bag got one bundle of 100. There's one left over. What do we do now? That's correct. I don't think Miss Smith meant for us to eat all this either. So I'm pleased you all have agreed that we need to open it up and get the bundles loose and put them with our other tins. Okay, great idea. Fantastic. So I'm wondering now, you guys have divided one group of 100 in each bag. What will you do with the tins? Okay. It looks like that's working. So you all are working together to count out the tins. I noticed that you are being careful to put them in equal groupings because we did talk about that it needed to be equal. Fantastic, working through. Great, 1, 2, 3, uh-oh. So we have one group of 100 in each bag and 4 groups of 10. They are all equal, but we have one left over. What do? Okay, so that seems like we have a pattern of working. We're going to break it down. We're going to put it with our individuals. So if we had 4 individual, and we know that there are 10 more, can you tell me how many should we expect on the table? 14, yes, 10 plus 4, 14. Okay, fantastic. So, all right, now that I see that you guys are going on with your process, I notice that everybody's being careful to make sure that we continue to have equal groupings. Before we finish out, does anybody have a guess if we'll have anything left over for the candy jar? Okay, so you guessed 2. Did you use a pattern, or did you, or an experience for your guess? Okay, cool. Tell me about it. Okay, I can see how using familiar groups of 3 helped you to get with the 2 left over, which is what we had, because you already knew that that in groupings of 3 we would have 4 to add to each bag. Okay, and if we put that in the prize bag, we'll have 2 left over. All right, so now that the job is done, how would we double check that everything's equal? Okay, I like how you guys are working together and counting. And tell me, how many did we get in the bag? Did we achieve her goal of 100? Okay, we certainly can see that right away. And how many do we have? Oh, okay, I really like how you guys are counting back by 100 and then by 10, 20, 30, 40, plus the individuals, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. So there are 144 candies in each bag. Those of you that guessed about 100, that's a really reasonable estimate. Those of you that were about 150, pat on the back. Okay, good thinking that through. So we've got 2 candies to add to our candy jar. We should definitely write Ms. Smith a thank you note for giving us such a wonderful problem-solving task. And she will be so pleased to know what amazing problem solvers we have in our class.